Okay, I think I'm going live here. I gotta go back to my computer. And I gotta hit the volume when it comes on. I'm running a little bit behind. I'm just gonna wait till some people get on here. Yeah, looks like I'm live. Yep, I gotta go back to my computer. All right, so I gotta get my microphone on, so just hold with me. Hey Jesse, I gotta get my microphone on here. Just running a little bit behind. So, how was the parade? So hopefully you can hear me now. Hey Jesse, how was the parade? All right, I think I'm ready to go. James, how's it going? Okay, yeah, I just put my microphone on. Yeah, hey Leisure. Yeah, James. Leisure, I still got to send out your chip. Michelle is running behind, but we got our chips, James, and they're worth $5. So I got your address somewhere, but if you could send me text me your address. Yeah. So how's everybody doing? How was your parade, Jesse? Yo, you said good. That's good because Jesse was in our parade, prepping for your trip. Yeah. I heard you talking about it, but I'm not exactly sure where you were going there, James. So yeah, if you give me your address, James, text it to me. Because I know you sent me some stuff, but I don't know if I kept the address. Yeah, I love the parade. We had a lot of fun. I worked really hard. We gave out almost 200 bottles of water. I was going back and forth, and I thought more of the older people were going to want the water, but it was the younger people. Alaska, yeah. So me and Michelle are postponing our trip in the motorhome to go down to Florida because we need to save up a little bit more money. Hey Rob, how's it going? So yeah, Rob, if you wanna, I got my chips in. If you want to text me your address, I'll send you one. They're 11-ounce poker chips. Yeah, so we just got like 3 walk-ins towards the end of the day, and I've been just scrambling here. I got this F-150, and it don't shift out of park. The park interlock part of it is not working, and I traced it down to from the fuse box. It's not getting power to the brake switch, and the brake lights don't work. So the brake switch is missing power on SBB46. That's the circuit number, and it's a brown red wire. And my fuse is good out at the fuse box, but I don't have fuse or any power on the inside. So I gotta find the broken wire. And I got 2 cars for tomorrow. Hey JD, how's it going? How's the weather in Canada? Rob says, I have zucchini flowers started showing today, cucumber flowers, pepper, and tomatoes everywhere. Garden is crazy good. Yep, that's so awesome. At least Rob is going to be prepared if food goes up too high or if you can't get food anymore. So Michelle is working on, well, we're just working on everything. We're crazy busy, but we would like to grow some in the motorhome, like maybe something inside, and then we can bring it outside every day. Something smaller, but yeah, just crazy busy. I did a valve stem. A gal had gone over to the shop across town, and they work on big tractors, and they put some air in her tire and told her to come over here, and they told me she ran over something, but it was the valve stem was leaking, so put a new valve stem in it. Hey, Canals. You're the racer guy from Canada, aren't you? I just seen one of your videos, and they run. I can't remember what you told me, but with some different sanctioning modifieds. We run USMTS, IMCA, USRA, and my mod can do an open mod. Eka something. Vinny Pumo tomato. Yeah, so I could show you a picture of my A mod. I don't know if we could ever race up there in Canada, but it's like that. Oh, there's here you go. So there are my 3 pictures right there. Fuber Dauber. What's the optimal AC temperature for your home? Well, I think it's 68 degrees is where you should set it. Is it 68? I don't know. Leisure would know. Maybe it's 70. I keep mine here at 70 in the shop. 385 dirt car racing sanction. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. What tires do you run? Canals Side Exotics 56. Hey Michelle. Yeah, we're talking I just met this guy, Canals Side Exotics 56, from Too Fast to See's feed. And so do you race cars or are you just involved with the track? Yeah, 70 degrees. Yeah, so what tires do you run up there on their mods? Just the Hoosiers, yeah. So you're like Wasoda. I raced Wasoda with this car. I'll put it back on me for a second. Yeah, I'm just been working, and so my cousins runs the Devil Bull in Vermont in the modifieds. Yeah, I forgot to get Leisure's modified picture up here. You know where it is. It's in my other phone. I'm going to plug that in and see if I can find it and kind of work on that while you guys or while we're on the live feed. I didn't get none of Rob's pictures up here or JD's. See if I can find some of these pictures. Yeah, so it's just been super busy. I mean, that's great, and I'm happy to be super busy. I got a trailer let me show you. I got a trailer sitting outside. I just got that diesel and the injectors done, but there's still air in the system and the high pressure oil system, so I don't want to let it go yet. I want to keep on driving. Sometimes you have to drive it for a whole day because it just won't start up exactly right away right now, so got to get the air out of the high pressure oil system. But it does run on all the cylinders. It does got good power. Yeah, I just took a picture just 5 minutes before I had this live feed, or before I started it. A guy dropped off a trailer. And the lights don't work on it, so I got to fix those. Canal Side Exotics 56. I haven't raced yet, but heavily involved with it. Girlfriend's dad races and might take his old Hoosier stock out. Just needs a lot of work to get on the track. Yeah, that's all my car is. I haven't raced it for like, I think 17 years, or no, 18 or 19 years. But me and Michelle got it running last year, and it was a methanol car, and we switched it over to E85. So Canal says, I just been drag racing. Dirt track is my next project I want to do. Oh, excuse me, I had to sneeze. Woo. Your comments on today's video are hilarious, Leisure. Yeah, Leisure's got the best comments, and I had to write one of them down. So BMW bleed my wallet. Yeah, it's sitting right here. And I had to order a socket set to get the wheels off because he can't find his lug nut key. And I even called him. But it turns out to be a 10 spline. So it's this one right here. 10 splines. So I got this nice kit from AutoZone today. It wasn't too bad. It was only like $40. Yeah, thanks, Rob. Sometimes I get the sneezes and it really, Michelle, it scares her a lot. Yeah, so I was going to go into text messages and download some of those pictures. I think I did download them. I just gotta. All I gotta do is just get them out of my Oh, I see. This cable I'm trying to use doesn't have the data wires, and it's only a power cable. Yeah, that's because I went that way and I tried to cover it up. Canal says, yeah, and that's roughly how long the car's been sitting. Still needs all the bushings and gearing redone before it's got a brand new engine. But it's got a brand new engine in it and brand new trans, so the bones are good. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, Michelle picked up on some of that noises on that Aviator today. And then we looked it all up for the guy. It's got a TSB on it. Possibly could be warranted, but they're also, because of the other problem I found on it, let me see right here. Because this catalytic converter is cracked, that might fall under the emissions warranty, and they might have to warranty that exhaust if it's not already covered because it's a piece of junk. 2021 Aviator, 51,000 miles. Are you kidding me? They can't build anything better than that. Okay, I figured out what I'm going to do. I'm going to unplug the phone, the camera phone that I'm using. Plug in this phone. Now I got to figure out where the messages put those pictures. All right, I must have not downloaded it. So I'm going to go to your guys' text messages. I'm sure I did download that image. And JD's got a picture in here he sent me. Well, he's got a couple pictures he sent me. Some lobsters today, or was that today? Yesterday. This picture we could put up. So Rob says, oh, yeah, the Hyundai, they're going to warranty that. Let me put those pictures up here. So there's the oil filter. You can see all that metal there. Yeah, so JD, I owe you one on that one because I did not know that they're going to warranty that engine on that Hyundai. That's if she could provide a little bit of oil changes records, but I told her if they give her any hassle, to give me a call. So Rob says we got a base model CX-50 for a rental, the most comfortable car I've ever been in. I'm unsure Some folks love it. I'm sure some folks love it, but it was not for us. So yeah, how was your trip down there to, what was it in Florida? Disney World? Is that what it is? I can already adjust it with my phone, but even on the lowest volume setting, it still looked too loud. Yeah, so Rob, on her phone, the app for her device always reverts to the highest volume. And I told her we got to complain about that. That's bad app development. It should remember the last volume that she had it at, and it doesn't. Rob says, Ford, ever since they went to Mexico, the quality is awful. Okay, yeah, okay, I'll download that picture of that lobster. Okay, now I just got to find these pictures. Well, yeah, there's some more pictures in here. Not that one, not that one. So there's the inside of the filter. I'll make that a little bit bigger. Okay, I found the pictures now. Now I just got to copy these. Now I got to move them to my other folder. Okay, now just give me a second. The screen's going to go blank for a minute. I'm going to put up Leisure's modified. So just hang on. I'm finding the picture, which it should be at the bottom, but it's not. So it's going off the date. Right here, I found it. So that's Leisure's asphalt modified that he used to work on. Lisa Frank glitter plant, Leisure says. Haha, Rob, I sneeze loud, but not like Pete. He's got me beat on that one. JD says I hate that everything is an app now. Just make it work without it. Oh yeah. Some apps are good, but some apps, yeah, her thing has to be controlled by an app, or maybe they should make a remote control, but it doesn't remember the last volume setting and it puts it on full volume, which just blasts her in the head. And Rob says we had a great time. Little man had fun too. Rode the alligator elevator. That sounds like a Bluetooth driver setting. I wonder if you can find a device mode on phone to force lower volume. Yeah, so she's going to go back and hopefully they can figure that one out. If you were closer by, Rob, I'd let you have at it all day. The company is Cochlear and my device is a Messiah. Let me investigate a bit. Rob's going to go to work. Hey, Too Quick to See. How's it going? I see you'll have lots of live feeds. I've just been super, super busy. And like the only time I have is at night. And sometimes I'm just out of it. So I will catch up with some of yours again. Osaya 2 sound processor. Yeah, so nice to see you. How many are you doing some live feeds tonight? Yeah, we're all doing pretty good. We got the air conditioning on. It's been in the mid 90s and the humidity has just been terrible. Like yesterday, I could barely go outside, and today I could go outside a little bit. Let me get another image up here. So the screen's going to go blank in a minute again. So just hold on. It's been taking me just a little bit to find these, but I found that one. So that was in the middle of my collection here. The other pictures did not get into the same area. Found one. So here's a picture JD sent me the other day. This is must be Nova Scotia, Canada. Michelle says she's seen a few people doing lives tonight. Alicia says Obama device. No wonder it doesn't work. Nothing until Friday from the track. Okay, I will try to catch you on Friday. Too quick to see. All right, got one more picture for JD to put up. So the screen's going to go black again. We had a really busy day today. Lots of people, lots of cars to fix and a valve stem. Yeah. I've been to Newfie, Scotia. Yeah, Too Quick to See is in Canada also. Not sure what part of Canada, but he's in Canada. Okay, I'm gonna add one more image to this one. Oh, here it is. I found it right away. Alicia said he might like to have some lobster. Hey Rob, can I put up a picture of your garden? Benny, hey Benny. I will be back from Colorado in 2 weeks, and I will bring you and Michelle a variety of root beer. That's awesome. So yeah, Benny brings us some root beer. Let me put that up here. So Benny has brought us these two root beers, and the one is Sprinter from Wisconsin, and the other one is Spring Grove Soda Pop from Spring Grove, Minnesota. That big ship is in the Blue Nose 2. You know, my favorite candy from Canada is Smarties. They don't have them here in America. Our Smarties are a fruity hard candy and a roll. Michelle, yay, Benny. Do you eat the red ones last? Michelle, that's crazy. LOL. I have to put my glasses on. Yeah. Me and Michelle both have to read. Have readers. Yeah, there's the Spring Grove soda pop root beer. Pete, their Smarties are kind of like M&Ms. They're super yummy, Michelle says. Better than M&Ms. Better than M&Ms. They're better than M&Ms. I think that's what he means. So Rob, I don't know if can I put up a couple pictures of your garden? Not with your kids in it, but I don't know if maybe Rob's doing some research for Michelle. I'll just put it back onto me. Oh yeah, so you want to see the F-150 for the parade? So here's what the front of it looked like, and then there's a picture before the parade. Oh, I love Coffee Crisp also. Too quick to see. Coffee Crisps are good. Is that you guys must be talking about some Canadian food I can't even get? Candy. So I'm put it back on the phone cam. Yeah, so I'm super not prepared for tonight, but we'll improvise. Yeah, so we were talking about some parts. Here's a actuator, a VVT actuator I put on the other day, and it's made in Japan, and that's a GM part. That's exactly how it came out of the box too, unprotected with that little tag on it. But I'm pretty sure it fixed it. It's been a few days and she hasn't been back, so yeah, the plow frame worked out perfect. And it kept everything away, and I don't think the truck ran any warmer than it normally does. And Michelle had the air conditioning on, and then I don't know why the camera, when we took the video, I was going to put it right in the center of the hood, but the hood's aluminum. But anyways, when I magneted it to the fender, I don't know if that was like it was going in and out. I don't know if that was the wind or the heat coming out of the crack of the hood. But the camera just did a terrible job on the long video. I've only got so too quick to see. I only got 3.5 hours of sleep last night. I'm going to try to get some rest. Have a great night. Yeah, thanks for coming. Too quick to see. Hopefully you have a good night, and I'll catch up with you on Friday for a Toyota with a GM badge. It was for Alicia says night too quick. So it was for, where is that picture again? It was for a GMC Arcadia with the 3.6. But yeah, the air conditioning's been running pretty solid in here, and it's pretty comfortable in here. My water barrel is almost getting full. So yeah, I don't know why it's made in Japan. Usually they're made in Mexico, aren't they? I can't remember what the code was, but I just assumed that it got a piece of junk in there, it got stuck. Because she stopped in for me to diagnose it, and I cleared the light off for her, and then she come back the next day and she said, my light didn't come back on. And I said, well, that just can be part of it. I said, well, let's just change this part because it's fairly inexpensive to do the repair. And then you don't have to worry about it anymore, because she did not want to drive that with the light on at all. Yeah, I'm trying to, as much as I can, boycott O'Reilly's because they didn't sponsor me. But that's the only place I can get brake calipers, and I had to order a brake caliper today for that GMC Sierra. But I was gonna bring that in and get more done on it today, but this one. But I had 3 walk-ins at the end of the day, so I wasn't able to bring that in. Tomorrow, yeah, that's where GM parts are: Mexico, China, India. I think some of them are even in Canada. In the upper 80s here during the day. Yeah, we just hit the 90s the last couple days, and for the parade it was great, but then it got so humid. It was crazy humid. Yep, Korea too. Yeah, JD, you know a lot about cars. I'm telling you that, and I owe you a big one for helping me out with that Hyundai. And I told her she has a little bill here at the shop, and they haven't come and got it yet, because she called me and said they're going to have it towed to the Hyundai dealer. But I told her that she has a little bill here that she has to take care of before they can take the car, and I haven't heard from them. It's not very much. It's a diagnostic fee, and I changed oil on it because it's part of the diagnostic, because it didn't make that knocking noise until after the oil change. And then we discovered, because we took that oil filter, we cut the oil filter on the live feed, that, hey, yeah, that engine is for sure got the excessive rod bearing wear. Leisure says it's, yeah, in the upper 80s. Same here, Leisure, but humidity is super high. No, we hit 90s the last couple days. Heat index is around 105. Yep. Imported cars are more domestic than the actual domestic brands now. Yeah. I don't know. Our Jeep is imported. We got the Jeep Renegade. But we got, how many miles are on the Jeep now, Michelle? Is it 78,000? But we ain't had a lick of trouble with the Jeep. We put tires on it and change oil. It's got the original brakes on it still. Yeah, 78K, and it's getting ready for the oil change. Here it is. Only thing I've done, I did take it in for some recalls. They put a new exhaust manifold on it and a radiator fan, and did the calibration in the transmission. But we ain't had a lick of trouble with it. The air conditioning, everything works on it. I did put a license plate bulb in it, and the lights work, but it still shows the light is out on the dash. So I guess that's the only trouble I have. But I think I got to get the actual Mopar bulbs, because the little 194 bulbs I'm using must not draw enough current. And it's due for an oil change, a couple hundred miles. JD says my Civic has 290K kilometers on it. Let me just do a Google and kilometers to miles. So it's got 180,000. Yeah, I got a car that comes in from Canada. It's a little CRV, and it's in kilometers. So I got to do the calculation because once in a while they want an oil change, or I got to do the calculation to see if it's ready for an oil change or not, because I'm just not used to doing the kilometer things here. Usually there's a button you can switch it over, but not on this one. It's an older one. But they come down here from Canada. They got a family, and then I do the oil change. I think I've done the AC on it a couple times and a couple sensors, a couple other things. They drive that thing all over. I'm going to look it up and see what year it is, because that would be very interesting. And I had to restart my computer before the live because it just wasn't acting right. Okay, I found it. Let me see if I can figure out. They got a couple different cars they bring here. It's a 2003 Honda CRV. Let me see how many miles it had on it the last time it was here. Okay, the last time it was here, it was for the crankshaft seal. It's funny I didn't put a belt on there. All I did was the crankshaft seal. The front crankshaft seal was leaking oil everywhere. 338,000 kilometers. 338,000 kilometers. What is that one? So that's 210,000 miles on the CRV that I work on. 2003, and I'm keeping that thing going. They want to drive that till she cannot drive anymore. They told me. Yeah, hers has got the 5.4. That's not going to be fun. They're rusted to nothing, just like my pickup. My pickup are rusted to nothing. So I've done some EcoBoost manifolds, and they're not too bad. I've done some a 5.7 Hemi exhaust manifolds. They're super easy. I've done a bunch of exhaust manifolds here. So yeah, I'm just having a dad's root beer tonight. We stopped in Spring Valley, and it's only $1.50 for these, so I picked up a bottle. Actually, I picked up two. So she said we gotta fix the Impala and the Expedition. So she says she's just gonna order the parts and then bring the attitude adjuster. Katrina uses her fists. JD says, "Do you use a weighted socket for the Honda crank bolts?" I'm gonna tell you, JD. I need to get that socket, but I heated that. I did a video on it. I worked for like 4 hours getting that crankshaft bolt out of there. I even wedged my breaker bar in there and turned the engine over. I did that like 3 times, and it would lock the engine. I'm like, if I break the crank, I break the crank. I don't even care. I heated it up. Finally, I think what I did is I put a fresh battery in my impact, and I did one more thing. I hammered on the bolt maybe. But I need to get a weighted socket. I could not get that bolt out to save my, you know what. Yeah, those Hemi ones, those Dodge Ram Hemis, they probably might be the easiest ones. Yeah, so Michelle was working on I think I put a picture in here, or I was supposed to. But we had a Toyota Sienna van come in for an oil change, and they said we did the oil change, but they said their back sliding door wasn't working, and we fixed the other sliding door about a year ago. But it turns out it's the sub door latch on the inside where the inside handle is. There's a bunch of levers and stuff. That sub latch is not working. So Michelle was helping me because we had to take the window guide out. We took the latch out, the rear latch. So we had to take the window guide out. Yeah, I don't have the picture in here, I don't think. But she was helping me, and she's got some long nails, and I was praying to the Lord that she would not break a nail. But she didn't. She had a little trouble finding my 10 millimeter socket, but she found it. Let me catch up on the comments. Yeah, I gotta get a weighted socket. There's another one that I work on too that I need a weighted. Oh, it's the Volkswagen front axle bolts. They use that 12-pointed bolt. Sometimes them are really stuck in there. Her gaze is like a fist in the face. I'm gonna add the picture for that sub latch that Michelle was helping me with. So just hold on, the screen's gonna go black again. I'm working on getting another picture. See, I was running behind, and I did not get all these pictures in there. Here it is. But here's that sub latch on that Toyota Sienna van. And I'm pretty sure this is what it is because the outside handle will not operate the mechanism. So I took the other side apart just to be sure, and sure enough, the outside handle does operate the mechanism. So it's got to be stripped in there somewhere. Or I did find a little plastic piece that fell out when I pulled the door panel off. So maybe that little plastic piece is broken off in there, but so there's a second problem with this car. So we went to lunch late today, about 3 o'clock, I think it was, Michelle. And we had called the guy, told him to come and get the van because we're done with it for now. We need to reschedule and order this part. It's very expensive, and I can only find it on eBay. So anyways, I'm like, well, you called the guy. I'm just going to leave his keys in the car. She told him how much it was. I'm just going to leave the keys in the car because we're going to be gone for like an hour. We went to Spring Valley for lunch. But we come back and the van's gone. And there's no check in the lockbox. So I'm a little bit upset about that. I couldn't find these on Amazon, JD. Maybe I need to look harder, but I could. It's a 2000. Is it a 2008 Toyota Sienna? And this is called the sub latch. Yeah, I'd get it on. We haven't bought it yet, so I would for sure get it on Amazon. For the other side, it was the motor that runs the big cables. That motor was bad, but we weren't for sure whether it was the latch, the motor, or what. So we ordered a motor on eBay, and it came from, I think, Taiwan. I'm talking about sockets. Yeah, I'm gonna get some weighted sockets. I need one for the Volkswagens, and I need one for the Hondas, and I think there's a couple other cars that have some really tight crankshaft pulley damper bolts that you need a weighted socket for. But I'm serious. I worked for 3-4 hours that day getting that bolt out. Yeah, so Rob, that looks finicky mess to get aligned. Yeah, that's not going to be fun to get all them cables and levers and it bolts in. There's a little sub door panel inside the door, like a old body style Chevy. You got to take that off, and then this bolts in backwards. Here, I'll make the picture bigger so you can see the bolts Yeah, right up there. See, the bolt comes in from the other side. Right in the center of the screen. Yeah, the bolts. That's one of the 4 bolts or 5 bolts, however many bolts there is. Yep, and on that, so let me put this other picture back up there. So Rob, can I put a couple pictures of your garden up there? Do you mind? Because I know you said something about pictures. Oh boy, where is the... Yeah, so I did get a couple cuts on there. Hey Phil, just like the sliding door latch on the Dodge Caravan sliding doors. Okay, I know the window regulators on the driver's door. I do a lot of those. Those suck. They got an inner door panel too, a steel inner door panel. You got, once you get the door panel off, there's another panel that you got to take off to get to the regulator. Me and Michelle just did one of those the other day, and I usually do them by myself, but since she's here, I had an extra hand and it went a lot smoother because the customer was waiting. So Phil, how is the weather? I think you're in Florida, right? How is the weather in Florida? Yeah, me and Michelle had to postpone our trip. We ain't going to get there until October. Yeah, the sliding door. This is a sliding door on a Toyota Sienna 2008. I fixed the one on the other side, and it's a dang miracle. Me and Michelle fixed it. It's a miracle. I don't know how we did it, but once we put the new parts in there that we got from Taiwan that were shipped here from, we bought them on eBay and they shipped here from Taiwan. It worked, and I was like, this is a miracle. I can speak for him. Was just there a few days ago. Way too hot, Rob says. Rob, do I? Okay, yeah, he did say sure. So, all right, the screen is going to go black for a minute. I just got to find an image for Rob here for his garden. So yeah, it's so much inspiration for me and Michelle to do some of the stuff like Rob is doing. So first picture we will start with is this one. This looks like an innocent picture. So it's in wide format, but you can see that. Okay, now the screen should stay up and I can still add some images. Here's another flower. Oh, that's the same one. I'll find a different one. And then Rob likes to can all this stuff and save it. So that's super cool. I mean, if there was ever a natural disaster or anything, Rob's gonna be prepared. All right, I think I got just one more image for Rob. So yeah, I don't know how to make a picture stay up and then put pictures on. I don't know how to do that. So look at that. Does that look good or not? So just super cool, Robin. You're an inspiration for all of us. You'll be surprised by those potatoes. So let me see. I missed one from Phil. Just now breaking a sweat. Used to it. Seeing 100 on my thermometer. 80. That. Yeah. See, Michelle, I'm not going to be able to live down there in Florida. Yeah, we thought about going down there for vacation and then possibly moving there because it looks like our elections in Minnesota are not going to go well. And there, it's way too much taxes. I just want out. And then I could be a mobile mechanic in Florida. What do you think, Phil? Michelle says, what part of it came from Taiwan? Well, when that part came from Taiwan, it was packaged like a brick of snow. It was. We were really concerned about what it was. And it wasn't open like when it went through customs or anything. But it sure did look like drugs in there. Or like it was wrapped like drugs are, like you see on the news. I mean, I don't know. I just watched the news. Rob says, Phil, understand ya. Michelle, yummy. Leisure said he loves pickles. Yeah, Rob canned some pickles. I don't know what are them in them other ones that we can only see the lids on. Michelle says, you'll be okay. Just need to get acclimated. No, I'm not sure about that. Carolinas are good half step and not nearly as much. I'm wondering about Tennessee. Isn't Tennessee a tax-free state too? Ohio just not as hot. Talked to my brother in Ohio. He says it's damn near 100 there too. Yeah, we're in the 90s, and the humidity yesterday was crazy. It was crazy hot outside, and thankfully we got air conditioning in the shop. I'm so thankful for that. Big central air unit. Talked to my brother. Yeah, so yeah, I probably missed a couple comments. Phil said, it looks like my garden, but I'm not growing vegetables. Rob said he'll send me some updated pics. So yeah, I got this F-150 over here, and the shift interlock don't activate. But I got it traced down. There's no power at the brake switch on the brown and red wire. And then that wire goes straight up to the fuse box underneath the hood. And the fuse has got power. So I suppose the next thing is to flip that fuse box over and just make sure the wire's getting power. And then if it is, then I gotta start breaking open the harness, because I followed the harness all the way into the cab. And I can't see any spots that look suspicious. Michelle says, when that part came in from Taiwan. Yeah, I already read that one. Yeah, but it's not hot right now everywhere. Humidity doesn't bother me like the sweat. I like to sweat, honestly. Yeah, no, I sweat a lot. I don't get enough exercise. So if I start working outside, I'm sweating. And if I work inside too hard, I'm sweating inside. The elections don't go well here either. The purple-haired witch keeps getting elected. So that's Connecticut. Is that Pocahontas? Phil says, my rear end ain't going back to anywhere that snows. I guess I wouldn't mind if it was cold all the time, like Alaska or Canada, way up north in Canada. I would honestly, so we should take a trip to Alaska then. If we're going to Florida, Michelle, we should go to Alaska. Right, Michelle? We could build our house out of ice blocks. Igloo. We could have an igloo house. I heard that inside the igloos they're pretty warm. And so anybody that didn't see it, I took this picture last week, and these prices are still the same. So here's my oil prices of what I pay. And these are all for 5-quart jugs. AutoZone Auto Value, O'Reilly's, and Napa. That's the stuff we get there on the bottom, Napa. So Michelle says, I don't like the cold either. Phil's message got retracted. James says, LOL. Yeah, because James Jeffro just said that he's going to Alaska, and I think he's going to drive. You're going to drive your motorcycle, right? Rob says, Alaska's on my bucket list to go fishing there. Rosa. I don't know who Rosa is. One of your politicians. Phil says, you can go to Alaska and all that. I'm cool on the snow. You can go to Alaska and all that. I'm cool on the snow. Maybe in the summer to Alaska, but definitely not in the winter. Yeah, so he's going to ride his Harley up there. Snow makes good insulation. Yeah, I think an igloo would be good. So everybody else's oil really went up, but ours only went up like $1 a quart. I could show James my Harley. Yeah, we decided to sell it. We didn't even drive it during Meadowfest here. And we need to get the title transferred over, Michelle, and let's get it sold. That'll be the money we need to go on our trip. Oh, so I just took this picture today, just before this live stream started. Phil says he doesn't talk politics anymore. The guy we have in office isn't doing so hot. Yeah, I know we need some major reform, but and James Jeffro said in his live feed that we all need to talk about it so we all could get on the same page. I'm just not comfortable talking politics on my live feed or anybody else's. Took me 4 days to replace a wiring harness in the 2017 F450, just a non-serviceable fuel pump relay. Oh my goodness, is that was built into the wiring harness? So yeah, I did find the picture of my Harley right there. I think we got to get the title transferred so we can sell it. Yeah, I don't think it's worth $5,000. But we should be able to make more than what we paid. And Rob says, I had a buddy who took his motorcycle from New York to Alaska. I could never comprehend the contingency plans. Leader said, I need to see where my oil and filters are. You lost them? Yeah, didn't you say you bought some oil? Pennzoil. Yeah, you got to change oil on your car? No, well, that's for a very low mileage Harley. Maybe a special edition also. Well, let's put up Benny's Hot Rods. I don't think Benny's still with us, but Michelle flipped me off on the picture, Benny, if you're still there. Relay built into the fuse box. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. They do put some of those relays behind there. Yeah, there's some of them are in, what do they call that damn thing? The gem module. Well, that is the fuse box. Yeah, I've taken them gem modules apart before. Ford's not like GM. You can buy the fuse box separately, but you're buying the whole harness. No, I can ride. Michelle won't. We didn't schedule nothing, so I wouldn't be able to ride there. Michelle does ride on the back. Rob says I'm doing an oil and rotate on the wife's buggy this weekend, so many miles she drives. That's a 67 Nova, and Benny built it himself from scratch. And Michelle wanted to ride in the I don't know if that's a 49 or 47, 48, 1950 Chevy pickup. But he was going to give her a ride in that pickup. But he showed up one day, and she missed the first 2 times Benny was here to give her a ride. But then he showed up in the 67 Nova that he built. Just wanted to show me because he got it done so he could drive it. Just got it all done. And then I'm like, are you going to give Michelle her date ride? And he said, sure. So they went out, and Michelle said he was driving like 100 miles an hour. Yeah, my other motorcycle's a Suzuki. I like that one better. So James, on the Harley, let me put the picture back up here. But on the Harley, I could downshift without using the clutch, but I can't upshift very well. It clunks really hard if I try to upshift without using the clutch. So do you got to use the clutch? My question is, do you use the clutch to upshift your Harley? Yeah, I can't remember. Benny knows. Benny, I could look it up. I'll look it up after I find. So yeah, when I upshift this thing, like driving it, when I don't use the clutch, it's just bang, bang. But I can downshift good because you just crack the throttle a little bit and push down on the shifter, and it goes in good. So my brother does the Dodge Darts. Let me pull up and see if I can find out what year that truck is. It's a 1948 Chevy pickup. It's got a 383. 1948. All right, I got it, Benny. It's a 1948. Leisure had it too. So let me just show you what we're talking about. So the truck on the bottom's a 1948 with a 383. Benny built that truck too, all by himself. He does the paint, every single thing. He did the paint on the Nova. There's Michelle flipping me off. So James says that he does use the clutch. Yeah, when I use the clutch, it shifts fine. But most manual transmissions, once I get going, I don't like to use the clutch. 68 Dart GTS, not our stupid autocorrect. 68. Oh yeah, it's a 68 Dodge GTS. That's what he means. Dart GTS. So my brother has some 70s, like 71 Dodge Darts. What's my pattern? I don't know what Michelle's talking about there. Oh, the pattern is you flip people off, Michelle. Where's Michelle driving? I'll find that picture. It's towards the bottom. Right there. See, you're always flipping somebody off. Yeah, the middle finger. She does have a fun time driving the old race car around. We do got to get that going, Michelle, because that E85 just can't sit there for all this time. We probably should go open the windows in the garage too, because that's going to be really humid inside there. Yeah, so we probably should go open the windows in the garage and check on the house. I haven't been there for a couple days. Michelle says, I love warm weather, water, cars, bars, dogs, boats, fishing, swimming, and flipping people off. I got some free tire weights, reuse them, lead in my project car. I'm working on body work. I'm cheap, ain't buying the lead sticks from overpriced vendors. Yeah, no, melting down your own lead, it should be just fine. Just when I was making lead weights for the race car, don't get the torch head into the lead. It splatters it everywhere. Got on my face, my arms, my shirt, my shoes. I didn't get hurt or burned too bad, but don't put the torch tip down into the lead, the molten lead. Yeah, we'd make our own weights. I think you can see one on one of my cars. Yeah, right here. So I'm gonna make this picture bigger. So right down there, underneath my ass, that's a lead weight I made. Damn, you've been gone from your house for days. You must live at... Yeah, we got the motorhome parked right outside. So we like to stay here so I can get to work on time, and then also, so in case there's prowlers around outside. So we're right on the highway, and catalytic converter theft has been on the rise. Actually, Michelle, the catalytic converter guys just called me today, the scrap guys. They want to know if I have any catalytic converters, and I told them no. Timmy does everything. How's Timmy doing? We're just talking about that big lead weight there under my 01. I melted that down myself. So Timmy is a race car driver in Louisiana, and he's building a hobby stock with a 383. So we were just talking about 383s also. There's a 383 in this. There's a 383 in the 67 Nova. And there's a 383 in that 48 Chevy pickup. How far do I live about 2 blocks from the shop. And then Michelle has an apartment in Spring Valley, and that's 9 miles from here. So we like to stay at the apartment in the wintertime, and 1 day a week in the summertime. But in the wintertime, it's shared heat at our apartment, so it's really warm in there. We don't even have the heat on, actually, because the heat from downstairs radiates to the upstairs, and most of the time we have to have the window open. We have to paint our weights white and put the car number on them. Yep. So I was a little bit illegal there. I do have to paint the weight white, and it does have to have the car number on it. I raced this past Saturday. How did you do, Timmy? I guess I didn't see any videos of yours come into my feed. I'll look tonight and catch myself up on them. Timmy posts a lot of videos. So yeah, and we had the air conditioning is working in the motorhome, so it wasn't too hot in there. It got busted for what? So Timmy said he got busted racing. Maybe he means this coming Saturday night. Busted, yeah. Alicia wants to know what you're busted for. Oh, busted for what, Timmy? So I got brakes, a brake job, something else on that truck, and then a town in the country coming in for a wheel bearing tomorrow. I got a 3500 Dodge Ram coming in for transmission service on Thursday. We better order some transmission fluid, Michelle. Oh, and an AC job on a... Yeah, Michelle, those lines were supposed to be ordered for that AC job. We're not going to be able to do that. You put a roller cam in it. Timmy put a roller cam in his hobby stock. Oh, no. So what kind of trouble did you get in for putting the roller cam in there? You drink Long Island's or only beer? I only drink Busch Light. I will have a vodka 7, which I put a Tahitian treat in it. Oh yeah, I could show you this picture. So here's my Busch Light collection. So we got some Busch Light glasses, all these different cans, Busch Light coasters. I got 1 can of Busch Ice. But yeah, this is in Michelle's area. We're going to set this up to be my reception area. I mean, I'm not going to have these beer cans in there then, but... we did have 2 people that had to go into the reception area today. They wanted to come out and work on their cars also. And we had to have them go in here and sit down on the table with all the beer cans. And they're full beer cans. They've never been opened. So if I get a collector can, I'll save 1 can out of a case. And Michelle says she likes Long Island iced teas. Yeah, I only drank hard stuff when I was drunk. I like those. Leisure says he likes some Long Islands too. But not me. Jeffro will have some bourbon. Gas station booze is always the best. I thought the gas station booze didn't have as much alcohol in it. I'll get the 40s, the big ones. So Phil, how has the work been going? Have you been staying busy? Rob says he's a bourbon guy himself. I got busted for roller cam, but here's the deal. The rules say I could run it, but the rules were changed when I show up at the track. Well, then they shouldn't do nothing to you. So you must have placed pretty high then. Did they tech you and found it in tech? See, I don't know if James is still out there, but I wanted to show him we got a new light. No light. So you put this on your keychain, and I gave this to Michelle. I got an orange one too. But when you undo it, it just turns on. And it's magnetic in there. And then you charge it right up here. You'd have to take this off. I can take this off. There's a little cover, and then you just stick that in a USB port. But had a customer come in to pick up his car the other day, and he showed me this light, and I instantly bought one on Amazon. It's in there pretty good. So off when it's in, pull it out. So the other thing I was wondering, is this actually magnetic? Yeah, it is. So if I put it on my flashlight or on my lighter, it doesn't shut off though. Very interesting. One lady was so scared, so one lady was so scared because her tire was leaking from the valve stem. I kept her in Michelle's because she was all over the car in the shop in a panic. Yeah, she was wondering if the little rocks in her tires were causing it. But I sprayed it all down, and the only place I could see was leaking out of a valve stem, and it was leaking pretty good, and it was a TPMS. So I didn't want to put a new sensor in, so I did have another valve stem that I could put in there, and we put a little bead sealer around it, and I cleaned it up with a wire brush and put it back in, and I checked it for leaks, and it's all good now. And then her wheel mating surface was completely corroded, so we had to charge her for that too. We charged $5 to clean up your wheel and your hub. And I think that's all we got. And then she gave us a tip anyway. She was so happy. She said she has nobody to take care of her. And she couldn't believe we're the only shop in town that has air. So James says he keeps one of those on his bike. Yeah, so you could pull it right out on the road if you needed to when you're driving. Is that kind of what you're getting at? The top 3 go to tech. So did you get tech? That's what I'm asking you, Timmy. Did you get tech? Because that's what I'm wondering. Maybe your roller cam helped you. Phil says, busy as crap. 6 cars in my driveway. Didn't have time to get them all on my normal route. So yeah, okay. So you, Phil's a mobile mechanic in Florida. So if you can't get to them on your normal route, you have them come to your house? Timmy does everything. Top 3 get tech here in Louisiana. Yeah, I think top 5 here in Minnesota get teched. Well, that's cool. It's in my left glove box. Okay, that's a hell of a good idea. And they seem to be super bright. Yeah, it seems to shine up pretty good. Michelle, it was like $36 and she gave me $40. Let me see why it came to be so much money. Because usually the fix a valve stem is like $20. Well, let me see what actually was involved. So the valve stem costs a little bit of extra money because it was a TPMS valve stem. $15 for the labor. And then I had to clean the wheel mating surface, which I charged for that because you should have your tires rotated. I shouldn't have to clean that. If your tires are rotated regularly, it's going to be clean. Somebody else would have done it. But since I'm the guy that's got to do it, I got to charge. It takes me 15 minutes to clean both your wheel and your hub. And it's I got to buy all them wire brushes and special brushes that clean that. So let me show you. I don't know. I don't have a picture probably. But yeah, we got to keep, and the other thing on her car, that wheel had loose lug nuts. Like maybe that corrosion that was behind her wheel, the wheel mating surface, maybe that caused the lug nuts to be loose. Yeah, clean and protect. That's what we charge for. Valve stem, mountain balance, and Michelle charged her a little shop supplies. Leisure says he can run roller rockers, but no roller lifters. Yeah. If I would have replaced the sensor, I would have had to relearn it. But since I kept the sensor at the same wheel, I even checked it to make sure it was reading, and it was. Phil says mobile diagnostic guide. Then we have mobile mechanics that puts the parts on. They got you on that tire stuff. Yeah, I only do sensors and valve stems and bead seals. Because the only way I don't have a tire machine, so the only way I can break them down is by hand. And if it's a brand new car, I might deny service on it because I don't want to mar up your rim just in case. I'm pretty good at not marring up any rims, but. So our engine for the modified can run full roller cam bearings, full roller rockers. It would have been around $60 for a new sensor replacement. Yeah, but I kept her old sensor in there. I saved it. I had a valve stem that accepted her sensor. And then I put it in there and cleaned up the mating surface and put it back on. I torqued her lug nuts. This is what I should have done. I should have checked the rest of her lug nuts, but I didn't. Only torqued the ones that were on the wheel I messed with. And then we also did another TPMS sensor on the 2021 Aviator. And then he asked me, he said, it's making a horrendous noise when you start it up. And it's the exhaust. And then the exhaust, the harmonics of the engine when it first starts running and set in its cam profile. And then it's got so many harmonics that it rattles that exhaust so bad. And there's a TSB, and I'm supposed to put a worm clamp on those flex pipes. But I'm like, I'm not going to do that, especially when the catalytic converter is cracked. I'm going to send him to Ford, and they're going to fix this for the guy. Pretty sure they will. If they don't, he'll call me, and I'll weld that catalytic converter back up, and I'm going to put some exhaust hangers on there so it can't rattle. Yeah, right here. That catalytic converter right there on the bottom is cracked. I did a video on it. We do tire, plug, patch also, but that's it. But I really want a tire machine, Michelle. So I'm getting old enough now, but using that manual tire bead breaker is just getting hard on my knees. There are some tires that I struggle with that take a lot of force to knock them off the bead. Let me go get the handle for this thing. I'll show you. I've already bent the handle. I've had to push so hard. So right here is where it goes in, and it's bent. It was bent worse, but I flip it over upside down sometimes when it bends. So let me show you. This is what we do. Whoops, my phone is a little bit loose. But this is what I got. I got this bar, and I got this device, and I lock it in underneath that bolt down there. And then this swings up to break the bead down. And that's a finger pinching one too. And I got my bead sealer, I got the wire brush. Here's another one of those. Here's her valve stem. It broke in half. The damn valve stem broke in half getting it out of there. And I got the puller. Here's that tool I got I won this on Jeffro's Garage Ventures. Here's the socket, or the little bit. These little bits go in this thing. This thing is a VEM. So this is how I get the bolt out of the bottom of those sensors. And then Michelle put the sensor over here. Because we just put in one a week ago. And he's like, yeah, my light's back on again. And I'm like, well, we told you that when one sensor goes out, so do the rest. But there it is. So yeah, I didn't get a chance to pick up the shop today. I'll pick it up after the live stream, and I don't want to go too late, like maybe a couple hours will do. Got to get my camera back fixed here again. There we go. So Timmy runs the hobby stock, and he just started that class. He built an engine. Phil says, I've been slowing down the last 2 weeks, got some hip pain going on. I'll bet you be in 5-10 years. I'm gonna be 53 this year. My knees get bad. Alicia said the crop in the garden will help me with the hip pain. I don't know what that means, but it means something. The crop in the garden. And then Phil says it definitely does help. Matco rebranded must be a Pittsburgh tire bar. No, I think it's a cheap Amazon one. Mr. Goodwrench has a tire machine and balancer. He forgot to break down the clean beads and seal. He forgot to break it down, clean beads and seal. Too busy dreaming of Katrina. Three-day weekend for sure. Be chilling out, smoking and drinking. Yeah, the other day we stopped at the bar. I think a Sunday night because we were spending our last Middlefest tickets, and then we decided to go up to the bar because the beer is cheaper. And I think right when I'm pulling up, I was sitting down because Michelle was outside, and a guy lit up a bowl right in front of me and blew it right on me. Growing the smoke, LOL. I need to turn in cans and get some beer. Yeah, you get paid some cents, like 10 cents or something, 15 cents a can, maybe 5 cents. What is it? I understand the crop. Oh, I see, I missed that. I didn't know what that meant. But yeah, I don't do that. And the guy blew a bowl. He took a big drag of that thing and blew it right on me. Yeah, what other they call it? Reefer 420. I think I know some of the names. But the crop thing, yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, I was like he was out of it. He blew it right on me. I mean, not everybody. Yeah, Weed. I know a guy. His name is Mike Weed, and that's how you spell his last name. Pot. Ain't no mechanic that doesn't make smoke or drink. Every mechanic does one or the other. Well, yeah, mine are cigarettes though. Grass, tea. Yeah, I didn't know those names. Mary Jane. You guys know all the names. Yeah, I said reefer. Devil's lettuce. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's probably a couple more names. Ultimate spinach. Oh, there's something in my eye. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to wash my face today either. I was just this kid wanted me to see if he could wait for me to find that broken wire, but I couldn't find it very easily. So I told him I had to, because I had the other diesel, the F350 Ford diesel, the 6.0 Power Stroke that I put the 3 injectors in. So I got that running. Went on a test drive. It's still working out some of the air in the injector, so I don't want to let them have it yet. I want to drive it some more. So it takes a little bit to turn over before she fires off. And that I did one injector in that truck before, and it took a week of driving it for it to start right up. Oh yeah, there is. Oh yeah, there is. Haha. That's what Michelle said. How about we just put it back onto Michelle? Oh yeah, here's the Busch Light. So later on tonight, I might have. I didn't drink none last night, but maybe later on tonight I'll have a Busch Light. And then if I want supper tonight, I get to have either leftover salad or some bratwurst. Yeah, they had too many bratwursts left over from the Fireman's Hall for the Middlefest, and they were selling bags of 10 for $15. So we bought a bag of bratwursts, and we've been having them the last 2 nights. There, I can put it back on Michelle. So yeah, maybe I'll just snack on some salad later. I suppose we could go till like 10:30. Yeah, the perks. I'm telling you, I would not be able to go back and get another job again. So I think I'm on my own, going to be fixing cars, whether it's here or in the motorhome when we go to Florida. Yeah, I'm gonna put mechanic on board when we drive down there, because you never know if somebody needs a quick help. And we bring a basic set of tools and a jump pack, and I can't remember what else we bring. We bring some stuff, and we bring the credit card machine in case somebody has to pay us. Yeah, it's 9:30 here, Phil. So I'll probably go another hour, and then we'll yeah. So I like the bratwurst with sauerkraut, but Michelle hates sauerkraut. So I think there is a can of sauerkraut over at the house. I'll have to run over there and check. Yeah, no. After you get on your own and you realize you can make it, depending on, and for me, I got to work pretty hard right now because of the tax situation, and I think I come up with a solution for that for next year. But if I didn't have the commercial lot here and stuff, it wouldn't be so bad. I think you're right, Leisure. I'm just gonna snack on the salad. Yeah, so Timmy's in the same time zone here that I'm in, and he's in Louisiana. And he just got busted for a roller cam in his hobby stock. So I'm gonna have to look for some videos, Timmy. Yeah, I like sauerkraut. I think I put a little bit of relish in it, and maybe a little small scoop of brown sugar. Yeah, I don't think I liked it either, Phil, when I was younger. Yeah, so let's look at the picture outside. So I just took this picture just before the live feed, and we got my pickup lettered up, although you cannot see it very well. And then that trailer, I got to fix the lights on, and it's still out there. The lawnmower, I'm waiting for the primer bulb. I got the carburetor all cleaned out, and I put the brake cable on for the flywheel that shuts it off. That was broken. So that tomorrow, there's the Ranger. I got to bring that inside tonight. So we got a little bit of leftover water, and we're gonna go out during the 4th of July and give the rest of it out. So right now, I just parked out beside the shop, and there has been a couple people that got a couple bottles of water. I think Dan got one today. Was it yesterday or today? It was yesterday. He's like, free water, and I'm like, yeah, help yourself. Okay, James, have a good night. And I don't know for sure when you're going to take your trip. I think you said this next weekend or whatever. Hope you have a safe trip if we don't talk to you. And don't forget to send me or text me your address. Two more days, wrap this turd week up. Yeah, because the 4th of July, is that Saturday? Yeah, it's on Saturday, because we didn't schedule no oil changes on Saturday. I don't like onion when I was younger, but absolutely love them now, especially sauteed. I could eat them by the spoonfuls. Yeah, so have a good night, James. Nice to have you on here. Leisure says, hate spinach when I was younger. Now I can't get enough. I hate spinach when I was younger, and I still hate it. Still, okay, it's in mid-July. Okay, so we'll still see you on Sunday. Spinach is actually really yummy. It does look like I got some comments I got to answer after this live stream. Phil, you commented, yeah, these newer cars, Phil, they don't want us to work on them, and they, oh my gosh, and they're so complicated. This one's got the front differential that's built into the lower part of the engine. We have a well I drink from the faucet. Yeah, our town water is full of chlorine or bleach, or I just call it bleach. It smells like chlorine bleach. And plus there is the lead in the pipes still here, even in all our local towns. Florentine pasta. So yeah, we got all that stuff going on. Yeah, these newer cars, they don't want us to work on them. They're going to make us so they're completely disposable. You drive them for 5 years, and then you throw them away and get another car. Have it completely recycled. They'll crush it down and take the plastic out. Most of it's plastic anyways. We'll have to have more recycling or plastic recycling plants. I don't know. I've never had any problems from lead, and I've been making lead weights for the race car. I handle wheel weights. What else has lead? The old paint. I think my cousin got lead poisoning once. I don't know. I'm sure being in the automotive business that I've consumed some lead. The old gasoline, I think some aviation fuel, does that still have lead in it? Or racing gas? Maybe not. Maybe they got some other lube for the valves. Yeah, I think they took it all out of all gasolines. It's interesting to see what it'd be like in 5 to 10 years. And yeah, I don't know. I'm lucky I'm going to retire in 15 years because the work's probably gonna. They're trying to stop me working on any of their cars, or us, any mechanic from working on cars. I mean, I don't know if they're ever going to get that through because we got O'Reilly's, all the parts stores, and Napa and AutoZone and Auto Value. If we can't work on cars anymore, that they're going to have to go out of business, and I don't think they're going to let that happen. But right now, so if I want to take that catalytic converter off that 3.0 EcoBoost or whatever kind of engine that is, I got to have a special socket for those nuts that bolt it to the manifold. Because I looked up there and I'm like, they look like a funny nut, and I ain't got no socket for that. I don't know. Maybe Phil, have you ever taken any catalytic converters off those newer Fords? What kind of socket do you got to have? Because it looked to me like I got to have a socket. Galvanized pipe carries lead. I know that the pipe that supplies my water at home is copper. I think there is one galvanized pipe inside the house, and then the rest of the pipes have been changed over to copper. I'll bet 4 or 5 years, so I don't care what happens. Just buy me a disposable car, crush it in 5 years. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to really suck for the auto repair business. In Minnesota, they want to stop us driving all older cars. leaks into the water and then when consumed in your bloodstream. Yeah, I think it's mostly for women and for when they're carrying a child. No, sir, not yet. Maybe ask AI on Google what size the socket is. Yeah, no, I'm sure if I typed in a exhaust manifold socket for Ford on Amazon, something would come up. Here, I could try it. But yeah, I don't think I'll be pulling them off. If anything, I'm gonna weld. If it comes back here and they want me to repair it, I'm just gonna weld that catalytic converter back together. And then I'm gonna get some exhaust hangers and figure out how to fasten it so that pipe don't shake. Oh yeah, I was gonna go to Amazon. And Amazon changed their icon to all orange. No, I'm probably just not typing it in yet, but nothing yet. Let's just do Google like Phil said. Well, one of them brought me back to Amazon. I don't want to do that. Well, I'm gonna have to ask my Matco guy then. And just let's go to images. Okay, maybe it's a Torx Plus. Okay, I think I'd be better off to search for what kind of nut that is. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys up on. I've found the nut now. I'm gonna put you guys up on the screen, on the computer screen, so you can see that what that nut looks like. Yeah, Leisure. I think Leisure's got it. I don't have any Torx Plus. Maybe you guys can identify this when I get my computer screen up here as soon as I find it. Why is my computer screen so far away? Oh, here it is. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. So this nut right here, catalytic converter nut. I'm going to try to open the image in a new page. Now, can I make this bigger? So that's what the nut looks like. So is that a Torx Plus or what is that? eTorx Plus, okay. I just do all these different Torx sockets, man. I even had to have a special Torx socket, a longer T40 to take them injectors out of that diesel. Good thing I had a longer one. But yeah, I'm not comfortable with letting that guy have his truck yet until I make sure it starts up good. And it will, because the last time I did the same thing when I put it was number 7 injector that was bad before. And it wouldn't start at all because it blew the seal out of the top of the injector, and that needs 500 pounds of oil pressure, high pressure oil to start. It operates the injectors. There's 2 oil pumps on that thing. So one does, they both work together. One does the injectors and the other one does the engine components. But yeah, I don't have none of these special sockets. But anyways, yeah. So I had to have a long T40 to pull them injectors. You had to have a short T30 to get the oil manifold off. When I cleared the codes on it and drove it, the codes all went away. I just got to get the air out of the system so it can start up after the glow plugs warm it up. Right now you got to crank a little bit on it. That's pretty normal working on a Power Stroke. Sometimes it could take a week of driving to get all the air out of the system, out of the fuel system, out of the high pressure oil system, for it to start starting up correctly. I thought I had some stuff pulled up here for the wiring on that, on this Ford. Shift interlock, yeah. So this is what's not working on it. And then we have to go over here to the brakes. The brake lights. Where are the brake lights? Lighting. So I am missing brake pedal position switch. Yeah, I'm missing this brown red SBB46. I do not have power, and this is the power distribution box that's out underneath the hood, and the fuse is good for it. It's fuse 46. No power on the inside of the truck, but I got the fuse is good. So I suppose the next place to check would be the underneath the fuse box, find this brown red wire, and see if there's power coming out of the fuse box. Because the other side of this, that brown red, would be the power distribution. And I found it way down here. Fuse 46 is a 10 amp. That's right where she goes. So I'll probably have to get up early in the morning and start probing around this thing with my test light. Because I got brakes coming in on Dodge Ram. Something else he wanted on the Dodge Ram. And a wheel bearing on a Town & Country. Supposedly. That's just what the customer told me. I don't know if it's an actual wheel bearing. I haven't checked the van out yet. And then I got this BMW that's behind me. I got the trailer outside. I got to finish up the F-350. I got to finish both them lawn. I got a rider too that I got to work on. I finished that lawnmower. So I got a little bit more going on than usual. Just having trouble getting parts. What else can we look at on the internet? I don't think anything. Yeah, I could go look at the live feed. Okay, Phil. Greg Frost is here too. Okay, Phil, have a good night. I just see that you're going to check out. Thanks for coming, Phil. Glad you're staying busy. Okay, it's an eTorx Plus. Okay. Greg Frost, how you doing? What it be like? Where the brothers at tonight? Word? Ah, shit. Not really. Okay, Timmy's uploading a short video for the race on Saturday night. Oh, Phil's gonna get some more stuff done. Yeah, I got more stuff to do too. I'm gonna have to do mine in the morning. All right, I have to put it back on something else. Yeah, so I just cracked open a Busch Light. You guys probably heard it. But yeah, we'll go to 10:30 or so, I suppose. Gas has gone down a little bit around here. I just can't believe the new cars. They're just so many problems, and the dealers are low on techs. Nobody wants to be a dealer tech. So yeah, the automotive industry is in a little slump right now. Hopefully we get a handle on it, because I got to get 15 more years working on cars. Maybe not if we win the lottery. We can win the lottery, right, Michelle? Of course, we don't play the lottery. Michelle, zip tie holder. We gotta build these and sell these, Michelle. Yeah, the fuel is 7.1 to 1. I don't know of any fuel that's 7.1 to 1. 7 parts automotive racing fuel to gasoline is permitted. I'd run some 121. Oxygenated fuel or methanol is not allowed, but ethanol blend up to 15% is permitted if additives of any kind are not allowed. Penalty. Yeah, I don't know what I would do in that situation. I would probably run a little bit of racing gasoline and regular gasoline. If I'd run a little bit of racing gas and regular gasoline. So 7 parts regular gasoline to 1 part racing gasoline. Am I getting that right? So our fuel rule is no nitro. Um, No, we can't run no nitro like nitromethane, but we can run gasoline, methanol, ethanol, racing gas. Yeah, just no nitro on our cars. No supercharged, no turbocharged. American-made engine. We single carburetor, just one carburetor. That's the rules for our engine. I don't think there's no cubic inch limit. There's no. You could spend a lot of money on one of the engines for our modifieds. A lot of guys will get an engine right out of a NASCAR shop. There is rules if you want to run a spec engine. So if I run the open engine like I'm talking about, I have to add 75 pounds of weight in front of the front axle. Oh, 7.71 is the section of the rule book. Okay, I got it. Thanks, Leisure. Leisure always corrects me and gets me on the right track. Yep, that's what he meant. Automotive or racing gasoline is permitted. Oxygenated fuel or methanol is not allowed, but ethanol blend, 15% is permitted. Additives or any kind of, yeah, I always put I'll go get it. Well, I guess it says it's for alcohol, but I thought you could use this for gasoline too. Oh, you can. So you use, for a 55-gallon drum of alcohol, you put this whole bottle in. If you're going to put it in gasoline, you put this whole bottle in 150 gallons. And if you're going to put this in diesel fuel, you put the whole bottle in 250 gallons. Oh yeah, let's put some in. Let's put some in the Ranger. But yeah, we always use that because the alcohol, the methanol, it's just like smoking a methanol cigarette, but worse. Yeah, we cannot run no nitromethane, but we can run all other fuels. We can run diesel also. No, maybe you can't use a diesel. It has to be carbureted. It says naturally aspirated. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could run it a diesel. So naturally aspirated diesel. No superchargers, no turbochargers, single carburetor, American-made engine. Yeah, you can run a 6-cylinder. There are some guys that used to run some 6-cylinders, but they weren't very fast. Yeah, like methanol that the race car, so that same smell would get into your nose out of the exhaust of the race car. Or if you just stuck your hand in the fuel tank of the methanol, and yeah, you're not supposed to do that, but that's what it would smell like. Don't drink it. I did get some in my mouth one time. It wasn't very good. But yeah, we'd get the pure methanol, right? It was clear, and then we'd put that Power Plus in there. Yeah, you can run as big as carburetor as you want. And I was thinking about running a 9. I was gonna get like a 950 maybe. Yeah, it smells like methanol. The same smell gets in your nose. And I ran my car pretty rich. And when I'd come in from the race, I pulled into my pit area and I couldn't breathe at all. And then the methanol got to me and I was pretty much passing out, enough to get the engine shut off, and then the guys helped me get out of the car. I could not breathe. And the same thing sitting in the lineup, I would have to shut my car off, sitting in the lineup and waiting to go out to race. And I hated shutting the car off in lineup. I mean, what if it don't start back up? Is one of my competitors going to push me out into the track? No. Not me anyways. They might push somebody else, but I was always in pretty good competition. Yeah, very minty. But you can smoke a methanol cigarette, but you can't sit there and breathe the exhaust out of the modified when it's running on methanol. Not for very long. Transmission rule 11.1. Any stock type, automatic or cast iron 3-speed OEM manual transmission is permitted. 4-speed and 5-speed manual transmissions are not allowed. Must have single disc. Yep, if I was picking a transmission, I would run an OEM Saginaw 3-speed manual transmission, because that's what I run. They're pretty good transmission, easy to rebuild. You can find them anywhere. They're pretty cheap. I would run a 3-speed Saginaw. And then, of course, I would take it apart and take the synchros out, because that's what I did on mine. And then if you have a lathe or a crank grinder, you could grind the cluster gear down a little bit, lighten up the gears. That's the only thing I didn't do. I don't know if you can get straight cut gears for a Saginaw. That'd be interesting if you could get straight cut gears. Maybe somebody out there knows if you can get straight cut gears for a Saginaw. But yeah, so the kids all liked my race car because they had the nickname for me. All the little kids would call my car the flame car, because every time a caution would come out and I'd let off the gas, flames would roll out underneath my car. So Leisure says, ISMA super modifieds run injected big blocks on methanol. Yeah, I think Mark Noble used to race around here with a big block in his car. Weight 14.1, rule 14.1 in the rule book. The overall weight of the race car must be a minimum of 2,950 pounds and shall be measured at the conclusion of the race with the driver in the cockpit. Yeah, 2450 on the modified at the end of the night with me in there. So I raced my car at 2450 one night, and I didn't like it. Leisure says to use a T10. Is that a Muncie? But yeah, my car felt really skatey when I was running at that light. I like racing my car at 2650. So when we raced pure stock, we never had no weight rule. I don't even know if we had the scale at all when we raced pure stock. And I know I lightened up that pure stock pretty light. Street stocks we did. We had, I can't remember what the rule was. So it was like 3,200 pounds. I even tried to race my modified at 2,800 pounds. I didn't like that either. It felt like I was just digging into the track. Just felt like my rims were just digging up right into the dirt. Yeah, hobby stock. So up here, they used to be IMCA hobby stocks, and now they're USRA hobby stocks. It's the sanctioning bodies for the race cars. We had to be 2650 minimum. Yeah, 2680 is where I like to. My sweet spot was. And I'd scale my car before the race, after hot laps, after the heat race, and sometimes I would scale it right before the feature. You could use the scale at any time. Besides for when the class of race cars were scaling. I remember one time I got teched because I painted my cast iron heads aluminum colored. Yeah, we can run aluminum heads too. So the set of heads I need for my race car are $8,000 assembled. I was talking to the owner of the track Saturday night. He was talking about the next year. Hobby stock and street stock will be combined together. I don't know how that will work. Well, it won't work because I used to race we used to race against our street stocks against stock cars. And the stock cars, the only rule they had was it had to be a 2-barrel carburetor and a full-size body. And stock car guys, their engines are more than my modified, way more. Because they can only run a 2-barrel, but they got to win. You got to put some money into the engine. So we used to, up here, when the track first opened up, if you won your feature, you could drop to the back of the higher class feature when they went out. And we always did that. I never got to do it because I never won on the nights they were doing that. I built lever scales and used bathroom scales. Yeah, I was thinking about like taking some brake calipers and putting a pressure gauge on them. You know, cutting them and making a pad and using some brake calipers. The guy that I bought my car from, he used a floor jack and then jacked the car up at certain spots and then measured when the wheel would come off the ground for his setup. So he's like, if you jack it on the differential plug, the one wheel should be come off the ground 1 inch or 2 inches, and the other wheel should be back on the ground. Daisy is around 100 pounds, LOL. Yep, Daisy dog. Plus, he said everything we got to do to run KK704 racing tire. Yeah, you guys all got to be on the same tire. That would be a big thing. I remember one time I went to Sunday night. I went to Cresco and we run IMCA American Racers McCurry tires there. And it got rained out, so I darted 75 miles, maybe it's 80 miles to Casson. That's probably around 85 miles. So we had the old Chevy 3-speed overdrive. It's a 1981 three-speed overdrive with a 305. And we were already ready to the point to race at Cresco, and I had my cousin with me. And we're like, you think we can make it to Casson? He's like, I don't know. You're going to have to put it in overdrive and have it to the floor the whole time. So I did. And we made it to Casson just for the pit meeting, because you have to make the pit meeting at that time. Now you don't. You can show up late and race now. But we just made it in time for the pit meeting. And I asked at the pit meeting, because we're running low on time. Usually I needed to change gears. I had time to change the tires or the gears to make my heat race. So I asked at the pit meeting if I could run my McCurry's, because I need to change my rear end gear. And the promoter said no. And I said, well, why don't you ask the other racers if they would allow it? Every one of them said no. I could not do that. So I ended up putting the Hoosiers on and keeping my 514 gear in, which was way Maybe I had a 411. I don't know. Pretty sure it was a. No, it was. It was. I had the 411 in gear in, so I needed to put the 514 gear in. But anyways, I stuck it with the 411, and she was just grunting around the track. But I won. I won. It was pretty awesome. So I'm like, maybe I hit on something here. I'm barely got any RPMs coming out of the corner, but I'm grunting. I'm using all the torque, and I won by a considerable amount. So I think that was one of my first wins. Is it hard to find a 2-speed Power Glide? No, it's not hard, and it's also not hard to rebuild one. I ran some Power Glides. I've rebuilt some Power Glides for some people. No, you can still find them. My brother's got 3 or 4 of them out there. If you go on a Marketplace, I think you could probably find one. Yeah, actually, I think I seen some on Marketplace the other day. You probably want to make sure you get a. What I ran is a Vega torque converter. No, you can only run a Vega torque converter on a 350. So you want to make sure it's got a torque converter in it, because Power Glides take a different torque converter unless you change the input shaft. Yeah, you'll find one, especially if you got some racing buddies, they'll know where the Power Glides are. You can buy a brand new one. So Leisure says they now allow Richmond 2-speed boxes up here as a 3-speed Saginaws, and 4-speeds are getting rare. Got a damn fly in here. If he could just land somewhere. He's very, like, that fly is very anxious. Yeah, so I got a damn fly in here somewhere. Keeps bothering me. So over time, the Power Glides will need to be repaired. The other bad thing about a Power Glide is if you got a bad U-joint, or if you bend your dry shaft during the race, you're going to break the Power Glide off the back. It's going to crack around the bill housing and break off. I've seen it so many times. The other thing with a Power Glide, if you're using it in like a hobby stock, you probably got to have a torque converter. So they're just a little bit heavier than a lot bit heavier than a Saginaw, a little bit less reliable. If you get a transmission pan leak, or they like to leak oil. So that's one thing when I was racing, reliability. So what was the best reliability for me and my budget was a 3-speed Saginaw. I got 3rd place at the track championship my first year because I finished most of the races. I think I finished every race the first year. So I guess if you can't finish the race, you're not going to win. I mean, my first thing is I want to win every race. I mean, don't go out to the racetrack if you don't want to win it. Don't go into the race car and go out there on the track. If you're not there to win, no, don't do it. But I was there to win every night. And if I couldn't win, the next thing I wanted to do was finish the race, or finish as high as I could. And then the next one after that is I needed to finish. I remember one modified race I had in Lansing. I went through 3 tires. I still finished in the top 10. Came from the back 3 times. And towards the end, I think we were talking about this a couple nights ago, but towards the end of that, on that 3rd flat tire, I was pretty I was not happy. and I was out there driving like a madman, but I was passing cars. The guys knew it too, so they knew that I wanted to get back up there. So I was passing like 3-4 cars a lap because there wasn't many laps left. But they knew I was coming, and they knew if they didn't get out, if I was on their bumper and they didn't get out of the way, they were going to get pushed out of the way. I've been racing for years, and when the late models had a different body style, I started racing in 1986. Yeah, so you've been racing, you started racing longer than me. I think Leisure's been racing for a long time. Let's put Leisure's Modified back up there. I have to find it. I'm looking through my pictures. I named it and everything, but I don't know where it is. Oh boy, why can't I find the pictures when I want? Oh, here it is. It's right at the top. This had to have been a few years ago, right, Leisure? So it's way better. This will be way better for Thursday night. I'll be able to put it on full screen. That's an Asphalt Modified. Look how wide those tires are. That's crazy wide. So I think I started racing in 1996. I got it now. So you started racing 10 years before me, Timmy. So late models used to have GM G bodies up until the early 90s. What's a G body? I'm just not good at, I'm good at fixing cars, but not remembering what body style they are. So Leisure started in 1993. I started in 1996, and Timmy started in 1986. So Timmy, you should text me or send me a picture of your car. Well, what else can I show here? I love race cars though. I think racing an Asphalt Modified would be, I would love to. I'd never raced on asphalt. Look, it's got to be way more expensive than racing on dirt. Oh, Monte Carlo Regal. Well, we called them like a metric. We called them metric cars. Or you talking? You talking the older ones? Okay, the older. I think he means like the 70s models. Because like my frame on my race car is a 79 Monte Carlo style frame. But I'm sure Leisure's talking late model, so they used like the whole, they had the whole full bodies. Which nowadays they're all made out of sheet aluminum. And like normal sheet aluminum is 40 or 60 thousandths, is it? And I can get some stuff that's 35 thousandths, but my car doesn't matter because I like to race it at 2650. So if you really want to, and I think some of the races you can get down to 2,300 pounds around here. But yeah, if you're going to race them really light weight classes. Some 35 thousandths aluminum would probably help it. If you remember, the right nose cone of the late models was different. I don't like to see the new late model nose cone. But yeah, 78 to 87. Mine was a 79. Yeah. The first ones came out in 78, but they were American bolts, same frame. 79, they turned to, I think, or is it 78 is when they went to metric. So that's what my car is. So that style, I have a 79 Monte Carlo up here. So that was your late model style car. Where's the 79 Monte Carlo? Right here. So this is a 79 Monte Carlo. And that's what their late models would have been like. Or they could have ran an 87, which is that style. Or that style. So your late models were like our street stocks. Now late models run fabricated body, steel, or fiberglass. No aluminum, no? All our cars up here are aluminum sheet metal. I don't think we could run any fiberglass. Because you get in a wreck and that stuff just shreds and shatters. 77 and older were called A bodies. I'll send Pete a picture of my Uncle's 68 Roadrunner so he could show you on Thursday. It's still sitting in my uncle's garage. We used to race on the highway with it. She's talking street racing. Yeah, he was telling us some stories. So back in our day, like street racing, you could get away with, but not anymore. 1989 dirt track late models were undergoing massive transitional phase, shifting from heavily modified production-based stock cars to custom-built two-chassis race cars. Yep. Our way back from the car shows. Oh, because, yeah, that's a pretty nice car, that Roadrunner that your uncle has. Here's my car when I bought it in 2000. I bought that car in 2000. That's what it looked like. That's what my car looked like before I bought it. Or when I bought it. That's when I got it home that very day. And then I crashed. There's the cockpit. Oh yeah, so that car that Michelle's talking about, the Roadrunner, is for sale. Budweiser, yeah. This guy, the reason I bought this car, because he won. He won all the time. And he pitted beside me when I'm racing street stock. So I got down to the end of the year, whatever year it was 1999, and I'm like, when you want to sell this car, you let me know, will you? Will you let me know first? And he's like, it's for sale right now. And I'm like, okay, it's sold. What do you mean it's sold? I'm like, I'm buying it right now. We have to wait till the end of the year. You sure you got the money? And I'm like, yeah, I'll get the money. Our late models had G-body front clips. Then they allowed ACT full tube chassis to run, ACT. The stock clip cars were getting killed. Yeah, we're going to get a picture of that, but it's pretty nice. It runs pretty good. I can't remember what size engine it has, but it's 440 maybe. No, this car here, Timmy, is not for sale. Because this car here is this car here, right here. That's the same car. All these are all the same car. The 96 Budweiser car and the 01 car, it's the same car. I just retinned it. All right, let's go back up. Yeah. So maybe I'm confused on which car he's asking about, but the Roadrunner would be for sale. And Michelle will have to get us a picture. American Canadian Tour. Oh, that's what ACT. They allowed American Canadian Tour full tube chassis to run. I'm just thinking the faster the cars got, the more protection people needed to be safe. My brother had one of the worst rollovers in Cresco to date. They even sent for Mail One to come and get him to be airlifted, but that costs a lot of money, and he refused. They landed and everything, and he refused to get on the helicopter. But I ended up having the 91 Grand Am, this car. I ended up flying down to Cresco because I wasn't there that night, picking him up and flying back to Rochester to Mail because he had a concussion. They allowed me to race him back in my car. And then his pit crew got his car all loaded up and his pits all loaded up and brought it back. And we found out the carburetor that he was running, which I had nothing to do with, but the secondary linkage had overcammed itself and locked both primaries and secondaries wide open when he went down the front stretch. He might have had a couple laps in, but then that secondary linkage rod jammed up and overcammed and locked all four barrels wide open, and his brake calipers had locked to the brake rotors and ripped them right off to the axle. He had bent his steering wheel because he was holding on so tightly. And what else did we notice that was unusual? There was a couple things we noticed that he tried to stop that car. So then we came up with, like the NASCAR guys did, that we're going to put a kill switch on the steering wheel that kills power to the distributor. But we ended up getting that frame back. No, we never fixed that frame, but we did cut parts off that frame to fix another car so he could get back out there. And that's the car he has now, which I'll put on. So my brother's race car is right here. So after he wrecked, we built this car out of another car. And we have a sheet metal bender, and we do all the sheet metal and the graphics, and we have a roll cage bender and a notcher and welders and yeah, he had raced this car up until a couple years ago, on and off. He's still got it. I think somebody just sent me some. Okay, so I could probably for right now I could show these pictures. Michelle sent some pictures to the. You sent them to the wrong phone, Michelle. But it's good enough for tonight. So let me see if I can get these pictures of this Roadrunner. So that's one picture. There's another picture. And another picture. Yeah, I want these pictures on my other phone. It's a 440. I don't know if you guys can make that out or not. 440. There's the inside. She says it's even more restored now. Oh, this is a picture of his shop. So he's got two shops. I don't. Does he still have two shops now, Michelle? Or it's a Roadrunner? Some of these pictures look like screenshots, Michelle. So yeah, I want send those pictures to the other phone because this phone takes like a half hour to get pictures off of it. You don't send them. You don't have to send them now because I'm using that phone for the live stream. And she says it's even more restored now.
It's Tuesday and
Whoops. I was just looking on the internet here. Yeah, so she did screenshot some of those. So yeah, I got a busy day coming up tomorrow. And this kid needs this truck. I don't know. There's no legend, there's no translation on that. I can't read that. Your next message was retracted for some reason. Oh, that message got retracted. Yeah, no, I can't wait to get the Firebird that we got back. Where's that Firebird? So I can't wait to get that car back going again. But it's here in my lot. VHC 2004. Is that like a VHS tape? Corsa VHC. No, I don't know what kind of car that is. Where's the I'm trying to find the Firebird. For some reason I have lost it. 68 Chevy's there. Michelle says that car was so fun. We won so many races on the highway. She's talking about street racing late at night with other hot rods. Illegal street racing is what she's talking about. Nowadays, if you get caught racing, it's huge. Michelle, I just changed my profile picture so you can see what I'm running. Yeah, I'll click on that in a second, see if I can get it to come up. Well, let's go find you. Let's go find you on YouTube. See what it looks like. Timmy does everything. Okay, Timmy. I'm about ready to put you on the live stream. Yeah, this is the Firebird we got sitting out in the lot. It's not in the same condition, but we will be getting it going. All right, let's go look at Timmy's. Let's look at Timmy's. It'll be better if we did this on Thursday night, but let's go look at Timmy. As soon as I find my computer screen button. For some reason, it made it way down in the list. I'm going to move it up so it should be right by my phone cam. Okay, let's go on the internet. Timmy. And I think he's talking about this picture. How can I get that picture to come up? He said his profile picture, so that's this profile picture. Open image and new tab. Now I got to make it bigger. So that's a hobby stock. Is that you in there racing it? Yeah, it's a Firebird. No, this car, I'm having a little bit hard time telling what kind of car this one actually is. Gee, it's me. I can only assume it looks like a General Motors. It's the back window kind of curves down there. That's yeah, maybe an older Monte Carlo Cutlass. All right, Timmy, come on. Tell us what kind of car body is that? 03. I'm 01. You're 03. Leisure was 94. All right, let's go back. Not back. Let's go back to Timmy's. Shorts. Let's look at his shorts. $383. The old 383 Stoker motor. Why wouldn't it let me turn the volume? There we go. Yeah, I got to catch up on a couple of these videos, Timmy. it's just been pretty busy. The 4th of July is coming up, and we just got done with Metal Fest, so we haven't been open on Saturdays. So this last week it was Friday and Saturday where we're closed. So we had to do some extra scheduling. Like my days are tripled up. Oh, that guy needs some exhaust work that just went by. So yeah, we did the parade. The trucks that was in the parade. Okay, Timmy says it's 1976 Chevy Malibu class. Yeah, that's cool. Up here, those cars are kind of gone, and we don't. You can still race those bigger body styles, but they're kind of gone. I did have a guy. I helped him do an engine on a '72 Monte Carlo. So yeah, the racing is fun. And once you get in it, like getting out of it, I mean, you miss it for the longest time. And then when people start talking about race cars again or going to the racetrack, it just brings back so many memories. And you want to get out there and race again. And I really don't want to race again. I think Michelle's never raced, so I think like we could go out, get the car running, and get some good tires on it, get some safety equipment, and go out to practice some night. But then if we do that, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to want to get in there and go out and show them guys how to race. But I just don't have the time for it. It takes a lot of money. But I think to do practice, we just need some tires and maybe a good fire suit and a good helmet. I don't think they're going to tech us in practice. Maybe. We'll have to try it. But just the safety equipment that we need if we were to race would be a few $1,000s. It needs a seat belt, a helmet, fire suit, all that kind. I think the Hans device is mandatory now. After there was a guy that a couple of people have died out at Deer Creek. I know at least one has for sure. And no, they won't let you out there on the track with a regular car. That would have to be a permission granted on a Sunday. That's the car I was running. Yep. That's pretty cool, Timmy. I'm glad you're still out there racing. I'm very envious and jealous, and I miss the days of the racing, that's for sure. I used to race 5 nights a week. In this car. Five up to 5 nights a week, for sure 3 nights a week. And then towards the end, I mean, the last few years, we could run the same engine the whole year if we took the oil pan off every night and checked everything. And I would run the same oil in that car for, actually it's got 55 nights on that oil, but it would be filtered going back in. You would not believe the stuff that one night of racing put into the bottom of that oil pan. It was like sludge on the bottom. I don't think I have a picture of, like, I run a K&N top hat, a K&N air filter, and then I run a screen over the top around the round part of the air filter. But the top hat is just a K&N, so it can suck in air on the top too. Leisure said he refuses to wear a Hans device or a close face helmet. Yeah, I know that's the Dale Earnhardt days. I think Dale Earnhardt was, it didn't look that hard of a crash, but it was hard. I just think that he was maybe getting ready to come out of the car and had taken his seatbelt off early, or his belt came loose. Big thing when I'm racing, you got to pull the belts tight on every caution, maybe even when you're racing, because the seat belts that we wore back in those days, they would loosen up. I did try an open face helmet during practice in 1996, and my face got pelted with mud. And after that, I went and got a brand new helmet. I would have tear-offs, and I would have sunglasses or sometime eye protection underneath my face shield, because when I ran out of tear-offs, because I was always coming from the back, your shield would get plastered with mud, and if you tried to scrape that mud off with your fingers, it would just smear. So you would have to flip up your shield. And the first time I did that without having safety glasses on or sunglasses, you know, the dirt was getting in my eyes then, and it didn't feel very good. So after that, I started wearing safety glasses, and or depends if I'm racing a heat race or a feature, it was safety glasses, or for the heats it was sunglasses. I never had to wear a Hans device either. They didn't have that when I was racing, but yeah, the belts do get loosened as you're racing. At least the belts that we had back in those days. Because that's why when you watch a NASCAR race and it comes out to caution and get up on the wheel and tighten your belts up, and you can see the drivers, they do that to this day. Michelle says it's already stripped out pretty much, so it wouldn't be hard to put a roll cage in bar. Yeah, but that's a different class of racing. But yeah, we could do it. I'm not going to do it. You'll have to do it. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work just for me to get the struts replaced and the engine mount and whatever else that car needs. Yeah, I think it's like 15,000 miles on it. It hasn't caught up to my Grand Am. My Grand Am, the black one, had 336,000 miles on it before I had to scrap it. See if I find a picture of that car. Bell Mag 4 and goggles. Yep, you can't get away with an open face helmet anymore. Yeah, this black Grand Am had like 336,000 miles on it before I had to take it to the junkyard. And those are the wheels that are on the Ranger right now. The Polaris Ranger. I'm back and change pro picture back to my dad. Rest in peace, race car. Yeah, Timmy, that's great that you honor your father like that. I try to honor my dad with all the stories I tell about him sometimes. A lot of my tools are from my dad. Leisure. Timmy, want to have some fun making my Impala to race car. Put some, yeah. I'm not too worried about the cost of the stuff. It's just that car is going to be super rusted underneath. And that car actually has rear struts. Those are the ones that are bad. I just know when the cars are super rusty like that, it tends to be an all day deal. And they are going to be over $100 a piece. We got to get the loaded ones, because I'm sure the springs and the mounts are all shot. Yeah, if it was just a strut cartridge, it wouldn't be so bad. I could probably get that for around $40-$50. But we're gonna have to put the loaded struts on that one. And I think the engine mount, I've already looked it up. It's like $85 my cost. Yeah, so my dad had a what am I trying to say? He had so many certificates for everything. He was a teacher. He taught vocational, everything automotive, everything, uh, anything from automotive to heavy trucks. He was a teacher and taught. He had so many tools, so many tools. Like I have two other brothers, and we both have. My one brother has the most of his tools, but he had so many certificates. Like I want to put on my wall in the shop all his certifications. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to talk about or tell you about. He had so many certificates for everything. From same uncle that has the Roadrunner. Oh, the Impala. She bought the Impala from him. Yeah, he sells some used cars. He's got a dealer license. He's got two big shops. He's got employees. Yeah, does he still have his shop he was trying to sell, Michelle? I think it's only fair that we put Michelle back on. So Leisure said his dad broke rocks in the sun. I don't know what that quite means. He was a miner or a bridge or a tunnel maker. What else could that be? Yeah. No, I'll have to pull up the map, but maybe when we make our trip down to Florida, if that's not too far out of the way. Yeah, I know when we go down to Florida, already told Michelle, like, we need to just take our time. We need to take the back roads, and if we come across some dirt tracks that are racing, I want to watch them. Yeah, I know for sure I don't want to get in on any I'm sure we'll have to, but any interstates or high traveled highways, especially rough roads, I don't like driving the motorhome on rough roads. We got that thing loaded down. Oh, stonemason. Okay. So yeah, that's a special talent to be able to be a stonemason. That's a lot like our friend Darren. He does now he does a lot of stonework for fireplaces and patios, and he selects the stones to do for the inside house fireplace uh, hearths and all that. Yeah, I think and nowadays like a stonemason is a pretty high paid position or career. And back in the older days, I don't know if it paid as much. And the guys had to work so hard. Yeah, preferably like free places, Michelle. Not sure about Walmart parking lots or places like that or truck stops, but places like where we stayed in Indiana out in the we found a nice little side road to park on before the Indianapolis 500 last year. And nobody bothered us. I don't think it was legal to do so, but we did it maybe during that time frame when the Indianapolis 500 was going on. Because it did say when we were looking up that the Indianapolis or Indiana people were welcoming, but it didn't seem like that when we got there because we asked a lot of like hotels if we could just stay in their lot overnight. And they said no. This house is right behind ours and it's beautiful. It has tons of fireplaces inside and out. I always like spending time with them. Yeah, we have a lot. They invite us over a lot. So yeah, he quarried the stone himself. So he probably knew how they got all that stone over in the Middle East for the pyramids, or maybe that's in Egypt. But yeah, they still can't figure out how they built them pyramids and all that stuff. Super B Speedway, I got a nickname down there because of my dad, rest in peace. They call me Little Bogger because of him, but I don't go to that much because of the memory of dad. Little Bogger. It was a late night and we just got there and we were pretty lost. Yeah, we drove all around and we even had to back out of a place because of a low bridge. But we just decided that we're parking on the side of the road and that was a great place to stop and camp. And then we stayed at the track after that. We just needed to have, they didn't let us in on Thursday night because it wasn't open. Or we didn't get there early. No, it wasn't open. They were in a transition period to where all the people had to be let in at 7 a.m. on Friday morning. Yeah, we're going to be doing a bunch of short videos and time to relax videos and on our trip what happens, and hopefully nothing bad happens. We still got a little bit more work to do. We got to rotate some tires around and we got to wash the top, and because it was parked underneath the tree during winter and it got some tree stuff on it. My dad wasn't Leisure says, my dad wasn't a scholar, but he quit school when he was 16 and went to the army. Yeah, back in those days, things were just a little bit different. And as far as quitting school early, nowadays you got to have a degree if you're going to get a job. I just finished high school is all I did. And I was on the verge of whether I should have a degree or not. But I got taught by my dad, which was the teacher, and by many other people along the way. And when I got the opportunity to learn from somebody, I sure tried to and remember everything they told me. I had some pretty good teachers along the way. But nowadays you can't get hired at some place unless you went to college. It's very hard, and if you do, it's going to be a low-paying job. So back in the days when you knew something and could work hard, it was a little bit different. But my dad, he was just one of the people that wanted the education, and then he wanted to be a teacher, so he had to have all the education. And he taught a lot of people how to fix cars and trucks and everything else. He taught me how to do lawnmowers. He has all the Briggs & Stratton OEM tools. I got some of them here. And I wish I could have bought tools back in his day because they were a lot cheaper than they are in my day. Yeah, Michelle's worried about the appliances having clean vents, but I've looked at them. I think they're okay. We're gonna have to fill all our tanks, empty all the tanks, fill all the tanks. I got a list going on my phone, so I'm pretty prepared. Michelle will not do a list on her phone. I've asked her. And today I told her, I said, if you're not going to do a list on your phone, why don't you get a notepad and keep that notepad on you? And she sighed at me. But with everything that's going on in the world and in our lives today, it's just hard to remember every single thing. So I got a couple different lists in my phone. Pete installed big solar panels on top last year, and this year we're putting in a new. This year we put in a new on-demand water heater because I didn't. The reason we had to do that, I didn't winterize it good enough, and there's a drain on the side of the motorhome that said water heater, so I drained it. I didn't realize that you have to actually pull the plug out of the bottom of the water heater. So it exploded. It froze and broke. Split wide open, but we were going to upgrade the water heater anyways because it was only a 6-gallon, and that didn't last very long if you want to take a shower. So we got an on-demand one now, and it can heat all the water you want to run through it. And I think it's pretty efficient. It's pretty quiet. I don't hear I could hear the old one, the flame on the old one. This new one, I can barely hear. And it's got a digital temperature gauge that goes inside the motorhome. And we were able to install it in there. Like, you cannot tell that we changed it. So everything looks factory stock on the inside and the outside. So I was really happy about that. And no, our water pump seems to work, and there's a spare one in the luggage compartment on the other side if we need one. So I don't know what she's talking about, why we need to upgrade our water pump. Maybe she wants a bigger one that has more pressure. I don't know. Well, that's because it's the rubber mounts broke off it, and I got it tied in there with bungee cords. Yeah, it's rubber mounted to the floor plates in there, and those rubber mounts over time have just they didn't hold it anymore, and they broke off. So I was able to use some bungee straps and tie it up in there. It's pretty good, and it just makes it sound quieter. So yeah, I could show you a couple pictures. So here's the motorhome. The Jeep is on the back. My trailer. It looks like we're in Racine. Here we are in Illinois at our camping spot. There's the Jeep. Here we're camping at my brother's place. Where are the other pictures? Well, here's the solar panel she's talking about. I put these two big ones up there. We got to change out these big batteries. These batteries on I got 4 of them in there. They're discarded cell phone tower batteries, and they're 147 pounds a piece, and they're AGM. They just don't seem to. I got 4 of these in there, and they're all wired parallel, so they're all 12 volt. That should last us a long time, but it just doesn't seem to keep up. So I'm going to get some a group. I can't remember. They're great big 12 volt batteries for construction equipment. Oh yeah, let's go back and look. So that was the well house. It's just a little well house. And it was $25 a night to camp here, full hookups, full water, full septic, and garbage. $25 a night. This was last year in Indiana. And we could have a fire. And he had provided us wood. And some of that wood was old construction material or newer. And I used it to repair some of my trailer floor. So my brother was with us when we were here. Now let me make it bigger because there's the water hookups back there. Full electric, water, sewer, garbage. $25 a night. And I had some free boards to fix my trailer floor because one of them had rotted out. It was 40 miles away from the speedway. The guy was super nice. I have him as a contact in my phone, but I can't remember his name. But he worked at the track for security, and we met him because somebody ran into the trailer. Me and Mom went to go get some breakfast and some supplies, and Michelle stayed behind. And Michelle was sitting at the kitchen table and got knocked off the table. The guy ran into the trailer so hard. So the guy turned into be a hit and run. And then so we got to meet this security head of security at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And he's like, I don't think I can get you here at the track, but for the race weekend, the actual race. He's like, I got my own campground. And we're like, no kidding. So we didn't say yes right away, but we did the next day, and we told him like, yeah, we're gonna hit you up on that. Then we ended up going to the little town bar, and he was there, and his wife was there, and we all had drinks for like a half an hour or an hour. But super, super nice guy. Everybody at the racetrack at Indianapolis Motor Speedway was super accommodating. So yeah, we camped out here. We got a little grill that goes on the side. We got a fire pit that comes along. Yeah, he's head of security. We got a Wi-Fi range extender thing that on here that can steal people's internet. We got a nice TV antenna on top now, although it doesn't get some reception sometimes. It's got a big awning. Jackson Motor Speedway is in Jackson, Mississippi. It's got 100-gallon. This motorhome has a 100-gallon fuel tank. It's got is that a 6.8 liter V10 Triton? It's a 2-valve. I don't know. It's an older one. 48,000 miles. I put Napa Fleet pads. Is it in the front? I put the brake pads. We put airbags on the tag axle, extra ones, and it had airbags on the drive axle, so I just hooked them all together. It's got 100 or 75-gallon freshwater tank. Or is it 100-gallon? I can't remember. So yeah, I need to get them batteries. These batteries right here changed out. Yeah, maybe we could do that. There's got to be a way to steal the Starlink. Oh, there's Michelle driving the motorhome. It's got leather captain chairs in there. Whole curtains that go around the front windshield. It's got cruise control. That's all the bigger that picture is. Yeah, I seen that. We're just came up with some more interesting stuff to talk about, but I gotta go in. I gotta go in soon so I can eat some of Michelle's salad and get up early tomorrow so I can see if I can find something on this F-150. If I don't figure out something tomorrow, I don't know what the kid's gonna do because he needs a truck for work. But yeah, okay, I think yeah, so I need to have go in there and associate with Michelle so she don't get mad at me. Eat some salad. We'll watch some Star Trek. Oh, the truck? Yeah, this truck over here, you can't shift it out of park. The interlock is not working. And I found out that the brake switch has no power going to it. So I'm assuming once I figure out, maybe I should just hotwire it. I'll bypass the feet. That's what I should do. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to run a fused wire from something else down to the brake switch like an overlay. I'm going to do something like that so I can get it out of my shop so he can have his truck. He can come. He's already got another appointment for this truck because they thought the power steering rack is bad, but the power steering is working. It can't be bad. It's something else. It's something with the wiring. He's got a wiring problem. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it, and I'm gonna sign off. Yeah, that's it. Call it and sign off. Now, thank all you guys for coming. We had a great conversation tonight, and hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And Timmy says bypass said I would. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that to temporarily get them out of the shop because I got 2 big jobs coming in. I got this big job. I got all them lawnmowers to do. I got to get this. All the parts are coming in tomorrow, all of them. Yep, I think that's a great idea. And JD helped me with the Hyundai. It's got full warranty on that engine. So I owe JD for that. Yep, I'm signing off. I'm calling it. Thank you guys. Hope to see you again. Maybe I'll try to do some couple short videos tomorrow. Nice to have you here, Timmy. Good luck with your racing. Don't get in trouble anymore. What did you call it when you got yeah. Yeah, change the cam out. Okay, guys. I'm shutting her down.